Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a water shortage is still causing issues in Perry County today. Friday, we first told you about Hazard City officials declaring a water shortage emergency. The problem now means people in Leatherwood do not have any water. Despite that, Leatherwood Elementary School found a way to get kids to class. WYMT's Macy Marie has the details.
Despite not having any water today, Leatherwood was still in session. I talked to the principal about some of the changes they make in situations like these. At Leatherwood Elementary, hand washing stations like this one and outdoor bathrooms are set up while the school does not have running water.
So that way students can use the restroom, can wash their hands properly, and continue on with a normal school day.
And for cooking, they brought in their mobile kitchen and a few extra people to help out.
The kids, we're feeding them the same. No problem, really.
The students recently missed several days from snow. Educators say when the weather is nice, they want the children in the classroom.
Being in school is critical. We really need to be here. The students need to be here.
Teachers hope for a quick solution, but say until then, they will make do. Principal Duke tells me the kids actually really enjoy the change in getting to wash their hands at the station set up in the hallways. She says so far there have not been any issues from not having water. In Perry County, Macy Marie, WYMT Mountain News.
City officials tell us all car washes on hazard water are closed at this time and will remain that way until Leatherwood has water. They say there is more water in the tanks than on Friday, and they hope the issue will resolve itself in the next couple of days.
And overall, it's been a pretty warm day across eastern Kentucky. We woke up with mostly sunny skies, but of course those clouds increasing, and now rain chances are back into the forecast. You could see here on US 119 in Pine Mountain those mostly sunny skies earlier this morning, and then you see that sun starting to dissipate just a little bit as cloud cover starts to take over. You see much of the same story here on satellite and radar. Those clouds increasing to our west, along with the rain chances as a cold front actually starts to approach the mountains. So as we look at pinpoint Doppler now, we're seeing that first line of storms, or really that's just that rain that moved through a little bit earlier, moving through Leslie, Perry County over into Knott County as well. A little bit of heavy rain down into Bell County earlier, but you see a second line over into Lexington just moved through Danville. That'll be coming into eastern Kentucky as well. Temperatures though, they're still pretty warm, especially for those areas that have not received rain up to the north in Ashland and even into Hazard and Jackson into those lower 60s. We see down to the Cumberland Valley, they saw a little bit heavier rain move through, so they've cooled off into those upper 50s. Now as we head to the next couple of days, good news is warmer temperatures continue, but those daily rain chances return once again and really continue on and off throughout the week. But we will cool off again as we head into next weekend. We'll have those details and more coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. Last year, the Martin County Sheriff's Department faced cut after cut as the sheriff tried to trim back the budget. This morning, he was forced to lay off another employee. Members of one church in the community are hoping to help, though. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher has the details.
Martin County Sheriff John Kirk says he is thankful for the community's donations, but they should not have to run off them.
It takes money to run a sheriff's office. You have to have manpower. Manpower costs money, and we don't have any money.
Sheriff Kirk says due to previous administration, he is making some hard decisions to cut back his employees.
If I was part of the past administration, I'd probably be ashamed to look the people in the eye.
Monday morning, he laid off another employee and cut office hours in half. Now he is working with only one other deputy.
The people are going to suffer. We're having to basically cut out our law enforcement. We don't have time.
One church in the community is reaching into their pockets to help the department.
To know that we have helped someone, it's a blessing from God.
Dennis Hughes is an assistant pastor at the Zion United Baptist Church. On Sunday, members of the church took up $500 to donate.
We felt that we needed to help the sheriff out as much as possible.
Hughes says he hopes his church will lead others by example.
Well, we're hoping that other churches would see it and maybe they would take heed and maybe try to, follow suit.
Sheriff Kirk says the situation is heartbreaking, but he is happy to see the community working together. In Martin County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Coming up later at 5:30, you'll hear from one woman who fears for her mother's safety after the cuts. A frightening scene in Southern California when a small plane crashed into a neighborhood, killing 5 people. Flames erupted from the 2-story family home in Yorba Linda Sunday afternoon after part of the plane and one of its engines slammed into it. According to the NTSB, the twin-engine Cessna 414 plane took off from Fullerton Municipal Airport around 1:35 p.m., made a left turn and climbed to about 7,800 feet. About 10 miles into the flight, the plane began a rapid descent into the neighborhood. Daniel Ugaldi says his longtime family friends were among those killed.
They cared for their neighbors and for friends and family, and that they will be truly, truly missed.
Police say 2 men and 2 women inside the home were killed, along with the male pilot. The homeowners were hosting an annual Super Bowl party, but most of the guests had not arrived when the crash happened. Pope Francis is on a historic trip to the United Arab Emirates. He is the first pontiff to visit the predominantly Muslim nation. The Pope made his way into Abu Dhabi. A parade featuring guards on horseback and a military flyover at the presidential palace welcomed him. The 82-year-old leader of the world's Catholics is the first to visit the Arabian Peninsula, a region known for restricting religious freedoms. Pope Francis will deliver the first papal mass in the UAE tomorrow. The event is expected to draw more than 135,000 people in a public display of Christianity never seen in the Muslim region. PayPal is used by millions to make payments, but now scam artists are using the trusted name to rip people off. Siblings Indica Mosley and Charles needed extra cash. The college students decided to sell some of their pricey sneakers. They listed the sneakers on an app called Bump. Quickly, they had a buyer willing to pay nearly $3,000 for the sneakers. The buyer suggested the siblings get off Bump to avoid the $180 service fee and use PayPal, and they agreed. They even got an email saying they received the money.
So we shipped out the shoes, and we pretty much waited for them to get there, waited for the payment.
Reality set in. The PayPal email was fake, and they were scammed out of two $1,500 payments totaling nearly $3,000 for the sneakers. What made this email nearly picture perfect, according to cybersecurity expert Eric Chantin, the flawless blue logo, no spelling errors, the correct size font, and the kicker, the security link takes you right to PayPal's official page. The fake part was the email address. The BBB scam tracker has nearly 100 complaints about this scam. Well, the New England Patriots are celebrating their historic Super Bowl victory. The Pats won their 6th Super Bowl, beating the Los Angeles Rams 13-3. It was the lowest scoring Super Bowl in history. The game's only touchdown broke a fourth-quarter stalemate, giving New England the edge. Coach Bill Belichick now has won more Super Bowls than any other coach in NFL history.
We knew it was going to be a tough football game and a great football game, which it was.
Even though it was the lowest scoring Super Bowl, New England won by 10 points, the biggest margin out of all their Super Bowl victories. Well, would you like to meet one of the best running backs in Kentucky football history? This weekend, you have a chance. Athlete Essentials out of Lexington released the second round of touring dates for Benny Snell's Autograph Tour. The UK running back will make 5 stops throughout the Bluegrass State, including a stop Sunday at the Corbin Arena. Tickets are $30 at the door, which will include an 8x10 photograph, a picture with Benny, and autograph on the item of your choice. We have more information on WYMT.com. There's also a Moorhead stop, I understand. Well, there are more flu cases at UK Hospital. Hospital administrators say they are putting temporary visitation restrictions in place to keep patients as healthy as possible. Other restrictions include no visitors younger than 12 years old and no visitors younger than 18 in cancer and transplant areas. Only 2 visitors will be allowed in a patient's room at a time, and visitors may be given masks or other protective clothing to wear.
In particular are limiting visitation for people who are ill, and that's actually been the standard. So if you are sick, if you have symptoms like cough, fever, we ask that you not visit your loved ones.
Hospital administrators say additional rules may be put in place in special care units such as the women's, children's, critical care, and oncology units. Set over to Wall Street now on this Monday afternoon. The Dow closes up today more than 175 points. Young and the Restless actor Christophe St. John has died. Los Angeles police were called to his home yesterday. His body was turned over to the Los Angeles County coroner. No word yet on the cause of death. St. John played Neil Winters on Young and the Restless, the CBS soap opera, since 1991. He earned 9 Daytime Emmy nominations. He also won 10 NAACP Image Awards. He leaves behind 2 daughters. His son Julian died in 2014. The cause of death is not known again at this time. He was 52 years old. Straight ahead on First at 4, Virginia's governor says he is not stepping down after denying he was in a racist photo. We'll have the latest on the controversy just ahead.
And showers and warmer temperatures continue throughout the week. We'll break down that full forecast, though, in just a few minutes.